back in Week 3. The Packers lost a thriller in their last matchup against the Lions. Can Detroit do it again? The answer comes your way next.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he returns this to the 22. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The numbers for Jones last week, 17 carries, 65 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers now on the jet sweep. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Rodgers will try again on second down.
Open man, Amari Rodgers, complete.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary. So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that 3rd down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw the little dump off to his back. And nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
Rodgers now on 1st down.
He's got this one complete to Rodgers.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
A give to Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones.
His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Now Hardy on the return.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. First carry for DeAndre Swift.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 108 for the yardage and the score, too.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want then. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Complete. It's Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 41. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC.
And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for postseason berth later in the year.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line.
On play action, now Brady. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Brady now on first down. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now the try here for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself, at this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete there to Johnson.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Rodgers going to throw.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Rodgers now to throw.
That is caught by Rodgers.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. The give is to Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. On 2nd and 9, Brady, his throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Brady. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
On 1st down, Jones. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down, another shot for Jones. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. And he is going to have a Packers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Looking deep for Adams. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play there for Detroit.
But we keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating. But his message there, keep waiting.
And you'd think on third down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result, because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Brady's throw there complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, Swift.
Down right around the 25. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady now to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. This from 44 yards out, left hash.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and very short, Rodgers.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now a throw here to his running back. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Brady. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. Now Brady. He hits Adams, complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. And he comes back with one complete. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Davante Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead.
That could be an important swing right there. Touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From the 6. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Yeah, he'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Tua Tagovailoa, 2 touchdown passes thus far. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. And on now to a check on the next-gen stats in that first half for the Packers. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? And meanwhile, for the Lions, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Now Hardy on the return.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Tom Brady. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out and catching the ball? Well, the receivers, the running backs, everyone is involved today. And what we're watching right now is really a beautiful team effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Working from the gun, it's Brady.
And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, Party, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 2nd down now. It's Jones. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Well, this has been all that we'd hoped for. 2 of the game's all-time great QBs slugging it out in a one-score game here in the second half. 1st and 10.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a play fake. Brady. Caught on the right side by Adams. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 20-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
taken at about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Touchdown! That's caught. The 4th touchdown pass in the game for Tom Brady. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
You have fun with this one, partner?
He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one. You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw complete there to St. Brown.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Swift. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Now Brady. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. To throw, it's Brady. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. The kick by Bass is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. A pass there over the middle to start things out. 7 yards, the pickup there. From the 29, Rodgers. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Akeem Hicks, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Chris Jones now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Green Bay offense ready to take over.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
103 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On the delay, Jones. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers got to have this one. Going for the deep ball. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Packers unable to pick up the 1st. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Throwing now is Brady. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
They'll run here with Swift.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Rodgers to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Rodgers sliding to his stop with a 1st down.
Let's go. Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless, take care of the ball on the way out.
60 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, it's hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On first down, Swift. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches.
Running is Swift.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
DeAndre Swift.
His 11th touchdown of the year.
And the Lions are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Rodgers now on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. On second and 10. Rodgers trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's going to try and go deep again. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers.
Quick completion here to Johnson.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 41. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Daron Payne has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for the Packers,
they fall under 500 now as they drop to 7-8.
And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.